Hey, thanks for joining me again. Here is a standing short practice for plantar fasciitis. Right? Sometimes we need just a short practice in order to stretch the fascia on the soles of the feet as well as the back of the leg. So begin standing in mountain pose. It helps to be on a yoga mat. I have carpet underneath, so you may want to stand on a floor that may change your balance. Have your feet about hip distance apart. And shift a little bit in your feet side to side. Noticing what's happening in the soles of your feet and in your heels in particular, which is where we often feel that pain. Right? And then come to center and looking down at your feet, I want you to think of your feet as being like the tires on your car, right? We have 4 tires, we're in all 4 tires firmly planted. So I want you to think about pressing down through the mound right underneath the big toe, right on the surface of the sole of the foot. Right? So pressing down through the big toe of both feet, right, and grounding there. You shouldn't start to get white knuckles at all. Now take your awareness to the outer edge of your heel, right, by your ankle bone, and press there. So we're keeping the pressure at the big toe and at the outer edge, activating what we're calling the 4 corners of the feet. Now take your awareness to the inner arches, right, and the inner part of the heel. So you're pressing big toe, outer heel, inner heel, all equally. And now add the mound under the little toe. You can see why I call this like being the 4 tires of our car. Right? See if you can lift your arches slightly without scrunching up your toes and again causing any white knuckles there. Notice your upright posture, so stand nice and tall, relax your arms, and just feel what's happening in your feet. We want to have this same sense of pressing down through the 4 corners of the foot in all standing poses, particularly when you have plantar fasciitis. Okay. From here, let's come into a prancing foot practice. So I'm going to bend one knee and come onto the ball of the foot. And then I'm going to exhale that foot down and bend the opposite knee. This begins to stretch the soles of the foot. So now I can start moving back and forth as if you were prancing in place. Right? Just moving to the ball of the foot and back down to the heel. Let's do 2 more on each side. Good. And then come to stillness. Notice how your feet are feeling. Right, now to stretch that back chain, come to a wall. A door is also a good place. Right? You're going to stand about arm's length from the wall. And let's start by taking the right foot back. And you want to bring the right foot to the floor. So the front knee will bend. You can always adjust the length there. Right? And you want to press the heel towards the floor and begin to move your chest as you bend your elbows towards the wall. You're going to feel a big stretch into your calf muscle. That's exactly what we want here. Right? So often the calf muscles and the Achilles tendon are tight when someone has plantar fasciitis. So we want to bring some lengthening there. Breathe here. And now staying in this position, bend your back knee slightly and then press your heel towards the floor. So you see it's a little micro bend of my knee, trying to really stretch into that Achilles tendon. Breathe here, hold, don't bounce. And then come out of the pose, straighten the front knee, step forward. Right? If you need to shake out that foot before we do the other side, do that. Even take a moment of awareness. Let's move to the other foot now. So back to the wall, arms, right, arm length away. I'm going to step the left foot back this time and bring the heel forward. So it's not a big step. I'm going to step my right foot forward a little bit more, so I'm in more of that lunge. I'm now going to bend my elbows and take my torso in this nice long line towards the wall. So I want to get to the point where I'm feeling the stretch in my calf and down towards the back of the heel. You can always come out of the pose a little bit and then come back in, but try not to bounce. Stay here, breathe. Good. And then bending that back knee, right, press the heel towards the floor. So it's a little bend, trying to keep, and you may find that your heel hovers a little bit here, right, because you feel this different stretch into Achilles tendon and that very back of the heel. Make sure you're breathing. Don't hold your breath. And after a couple breaths, right, Straighten the front leg, take the foot forward. Again, you can shake it out for a moment and see how that feels. Okay, next pose is on all fours, so coming down to your mat. We're going to come into tabletop, hands underneath shoulders. And here, again, we want to stretch in the very sole of the feet. So I'm going to curl my toes under. You want the heels stretching straight back, right? And this may be enough of a stretch for you, depending upon whether or not you're having a real chronic problem. If you're in real severe pain, this may be as far as you want to go. And if you have bunions and it's hard to take your heels straight back, you might want to skip this one altogether. If you would like more stretch, you can begin to shift your hips back, right, to increase that stretch. And you can even come so far as to walk your hands back and to sit on your heels with the toes curled under. You want to make sure that all the toes are curled under, heels are going straight back and not out to the side. This can be really intense. So don't come here if this is too uncomfortable. All right, to counter pose, you can come back forward, flatten the tops of the feet, and then walk back and sit on your heels now with the toenails pressing down. For some people, this is more uncomfortable than the other. Right? And you can go back and forth between these two. So take a rest, curl the toes under, maybe shift your hips back enough to intensify the stretch so it's a pleasurable feeling, not a painful one. And then come forward, flatten the tops of the feet, and come back and sit on your heels. Right. So to finish up this short standing practice, come to seated. You can grab a blanket or a pillow to sit on. And I'm going to bring the right leg in and have the left leg out to the side. And I'm going to start with using my thumbs to press along this inner arch. This can feel really good and again help to work through any tightness in the fascia in the feet. And then once you've done that up and down the arch a couple of times, I'm going to take, in this case, my left hand around the right toes, and then my right hand will come so my fingers are pointing back towards my thigh. And now I'm going to begin to twist the foot and press as if I were kneading. So this helps to broaden the foot a bit. And again, works through that fascia. Take your time. Be sure and breathe. Good. And then take a rest. You might want to stretch that leg out. Notice how that foot feels after the massage. The left foot probably wants it now too, so I'm going to take the right leg out to the side and bring my left foot in. Again, starting with my thumbs, I'm going to just press along the instep, that inner arch, from the heel all the way up. If you want to work a little bit into this, right, the bottom and sole of the foot, you're welcome to do that. This should be pleasant. Good. And then this time my right hand's going to wrap around my toes, and my left hand, I'm going to turn it so my fingertips come back towards my right thigh. And now I'm going to do that twisting, kneading action as if I were kneading bread. You control the pressure here. Make it just right for you. After doing this for 30 seconds to a minute, take a break, stretch both legs out, and hopefully both feet feel better. So this is a short 10-minute practice, right? Great for plantar fasciitis or just tired feet at the end of the day to bring awareness. I hope that this has helped you. Do leave me feedback. I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, and experience. And do come back and visit again, so I have more videos on how to deal with foot pain. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day or evening. Namaste.